have, in addition to great music, which I'll get to in just a little bit, we've got 3 art exhibitions up, continuing the show of Luis Cotto, Las Caras Lindas, upstairs in our Amos Bull House gallery. Then also tonight we have the openings of photographers Andy Hart and Cecil Hudson. Take a Bow, Hartford is the title of their exhibition.
Hi.
My name's J.C. McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Photography to me is very important because there's a little bit of history. My mom was the family photographer, so I'm very, very thankful to her for always pulling out a camera and kind of documenting the history of our family. So I picked it up from her. For me, it was a way to capture all of my kids. My oldest son started playing sports at 8. I started taking pictures of him playing basketball, and that evolved into me being the team photographer for all my kids for all their sports. So now we can look back at their progress. It's just not them on the court or the field, it's the families that attended, it's the friends and families in the stands, their reactions, it's the celebrations afterwards. It's really a way to document their history and to give them something to look back at.
Yeah, with regards to photography, I've been a fan of photography. One person I didn't mention in my little bio thing as an inspiration was a former graphic teacher at Buckley High. His name is Patrick Barnett, and he used to have this Rollie, and he did a lot of medium format photography, and he's the one that really turned me on when I was younger. This is in the mid to late 80s. And of course, Juan Fuentes Vizcarrondo. But it's through their eyes, specifically Juan Fuentes's, that I saw the power of documentation of a community. And what photography in general allows people to convey. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the art form. I've come back to it. I used to do it a lot when I was doing more analog, and then I moved away from it when it became digital, and I came back to it 2018. I remember I was in Puerto Rico for hurricane relief after Maria, and I stayed with a friend, and New Year's Eve he was gonna go with his partner's family, and I didn't want to be a third wheel, so I said, I'm just gonna drive around, do you mind if I borrow your camera? Which was this one. And he said, sure. And I went to Old San Juan, I took photos there, and I fell back in love. And then later on, he wasn't using it, so I made an offer on this, put it on layaway, old school. So I paid him $1 million for 6 months, then $2 million. No, it was a lot of money, and I've been playing with this ever since. And I document my life, because my life is boring, yet it's awesome, as everybody's life is, right? And I'll just speak real quick about these selections. Jenna had asked me on my website, I do have a larger body of work called To Be Called Negrito. To Be Called Negrito is based off of a poem by Pedro Pietri. It's called Puerto Rican Obituary, and at the very end it says to be called Negrito is to be called love. And so I use that as a way to encapture my melanin-filled family, African Americans, other Black people, and Latin American or Afro-Latinos. So then when Jana asked me to grab from that, and I knew she was partnering it with like a music thing, like the concerts, I chose to choose from it and do performers, musicians, dancers. So what you'll see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think 12 pieces are pieces of creatives, both Afro-Latino, like Vicente, Barbara, King, I'm blanking on his name, Christopher King Henry from Boston Dance Opera. I'm a big fan of this one, and when I saw where it was gonna go in this meeting room, for people who haven't seen it, it's a meeting room at the Amos Bull House. I purposely chose to go 16 by 20 and print them large, because in meeting rooms, if it's smaller, you're sitting in a meeting and you don't notice it. And I imagine this to be a space that's mostly melanin challenged people, mostly white people coming to meet. And I speak on the bio of like the connection to Amos Bull and the house, both Butler-McCook and this one, being built and around during the time of enslavement. So that was running in my head. And so I wanted to have something that was unavoidable, unignorable, if you will. So I made them bigger because no matter where you're sitting in these chairs, you can't help but see beautiful Black faces and joy, resilience, power, everything from Gloria to Abu. I'm a big fan of this, and I'm psyched that they've asked me to come and exhibit these.
The majority, well, all these pictures are of music concerts, but the majority are from either the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz or Farm Aid when it came to the city in 2018. So I volunteer for the Jazz Festival as a photographer, and I'm really, really privileged because I get to see the performers, their expressions, and I try to do my best to capture those in-between moments. So anybody can get somebody playing an instrument, but you want to be able to get them when they're really feeling it. And you kind of see their expressions, you see them really getting lost in the music or lost in the fact that they don't even know that the audience is there. They're into the music or communicating with their band members through eyesight or through motions. And those are the things that I try to really capture, are those moments that are unique.
Hi, my name is Andy Hart, and me and my former schoolmate at St. Justin's School are doing a photography exhibit down at the Butler-McCook House, and that's where Cecil is. And I'm down here in the Amos Bull House with about 20 photos taken all in Hartford of various events, from Caribbean Heritage Month, some events like the Ted Hershey Dance Marathon that no longer takes place, to some parandas on Park Street, the Asian Festival, the Portuguese Day Parade, and stuff like that. We tried to show as many ethnic groups as we could, and I think it's a nice show, but you be the judge and come on down.
All right, so this picture here is at the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz. It's the 860 dancers, art from the Hart, and this is one of very, very talented dancers, Jeanette Christie, actually, daughter of Charles Christie, who's one of the organizers. It's her dance troupe. So I was able to catch this dancer on their toes in a very, very difficult pose. Sometimes you're just at the right spot at the right time. So capturing local talent is important, and so people can see what we have here.